about you, but it seems like there's always a cardboard box either on my front steps or in my kitchen. And I hate to just recycle them without finding some other use for them first. So I created this brainstorm around cardboard boxes, and I'd love to hear what your ideas are for how play can happen with a cardboard box. So I'm going to give you some of mine, and we'll see what else folks come up with. And please put them in the chat or in the comments if you have things that we haven't thought of. So boxes make great building blocks. So if you've collected a bunch of them, the kids can stack them and build with them, or maybe even create a wall dividing them from the rest of the world, in a corner of the living room or the bedroom. Boxes, big boxes, or boxes that are joined together make fantastic forts or playhouses. If you cut one open, they make a great grass sled. I sledded down hills on grass on cardboard boxes quite a bit as a child. One flap comes up and protects you as you're doing it, just like a sled might have something that comes up in front. You can practice wrapping using recycled paper from magazines or newspapers or whatever, and you have a smaller box. You can teach your child to wrap presents. In my family, in my immediate family now, we wrap with bandanas and other cloth, usually scrap cloth from the sewing basket. So learning to wrap with that, practice tying ribbons around them. You can have a scavenger hunt so that each box contains something that leads you to the next box. You may have seen the little video of my puppy trying to find a treat in a box. So that's a really nice thing. You can use a box for dog training. They use cardboard boxes to teach dogs to scent track. And also you can just use it to entertain your dog or your young child, to put something in the box. You can teach your child how to do that kind of where you take the 4 flaps and they overlap. And it's really hard when you're a child to learn to do that. So give them a little lesson and then send them off to practice. So it's a great activity. You can make masks, hats, and headdresses out of boxes. Create a puppet show theater and even make the puppets out of the flaps. So turn your box on side, cut a nice little hole out of it, and then the puppets pop up through the hole, just like an old school puppet show. And they can actually make bigger theaters out of bigger pieces of cardboard and boxes too. Use the boxes for hide and seek. And you saw on the opening slide, I found that awesome picture, is right up my alley, of an older sister pushing a younger child across the floor in a box. I guess in that case, I would call it a go-kart. Or hiding in boxes and teaching them how to use them for hide and seek. Let's see, puppet show, I already did. Boxes, cardboard makes great signs because it's stiff. So maybe you have an older child who has a concern that they really care about. Have them, give them paint or fat markers and have them make a sign for activism or a message that they'd like to give the world, and then let them stand out on the street and hold their sign. Or encourage them to post it somewhere, to take a stick and tape it onto the back of the cardboard and stick it in the ground, and create your little activists or your yard signs with it. On the signs, you could have something political, something positive, or just some good advice like breathe. Cardboard makes a great easel or surface for painting. So it's a great way to paint, especially really big pieces. You can create a God box or a wish box. And I have a whole workshop where we've talked about the box, but it can be a tiny one or a big one. And they decorate the box with gluing things on or drawing on it. And then in that box are special ideas and special thoughts or really special little trinkets. You keep them in the box. And then whenever you need a little pick-me-up or something new to think about, you go to the box and put your hand in and draw something out. This is great for you too, parents, to create like little fortunes or little wishes that you can put in a small box for yourself. Trace all or part of your body. So if you have a really big piece of cardboard, you lay one child down and the other child, or you trace them so that the whole shape of the body is on the box, but you can also just trace a foot or a hand or a head. And then in the tracing, collage the outline of your body part with words or markers or cutting images out of magazines. Boxes make great drums. It's a little less noisy and obnoxious than the pots and pans, but you can make amazing musical instruments. You can also put things in the boxes and use them as shaker type of instruments. You could make a stick horse out of a box. You could make or something else that you can ride. You could make a diorama, a 3D scene inside the box. And let me tell you, if you get your older elementary school child involved in that, or you help a younger child do it, that will be something that they can use in a project for, a book report or something in middle school. Those are great tools. You can make an actual fort out of the box. And I'm not sure if I said that before, you could stack them, but also the boxes themselves can be disassembled and attached and taped together and create a really nice fort. And it's really great if you use a chair or a table and then, it comes off of it. Then you can incorporate some blankets into it. You can make entire costumes out of boxes. I mean, we've all seen amazing Halloween costumes where somebody is wearing a box. Even just wearing a box, it doesn't even have to be decorated, can be so much fun and so exciting. And maybe it's a box that sometimes covers the head and just has eye holes, or maybe there's a head hole and it comes down here. So many ways to play with boxes.